Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving into Joe Freeman's insightful essay, The Tyranny of Structurelessness, a piece that's been incredibly influential, even revolutionary, in understanding group dynamics, especially within activist movements. It's a classic.
I've heard whispers of this essay, but never actually read it. What's the core argument? Is it simply anti-organization?
Not at all. Freeman argues that the supposedly structureless groups, common in early feminist movements, actually create hidden power structures. The absence of formal organization doesn't mean there's no hierarchy. It just means the hierarchy is invisible, often based on informal networks of friends and acquaintances.
So a kind of unintentional elitism? How does that work?
Exactly. Think about it. In a group with no defined roles, who gets to decide what happens? It's usually those with existing social connections, those who are already comfortable navigating informal power dynamics. These become the de facto leaders, often without even realizing it.
Interesting. So the lack of formal structure doesn't eliminate power, it just obscures it, making it harder to challenge. It sounds like a recipe for inefficiency too, right?
Absolutely. Freeman points out that these informal structures often prioritize personal relationships over competence. Decisions are made based on who you know, not what you know. This leads to a lack of accountability and ultimately political impotence. The movement becomes less effective at achieving its goals.
So what's the alternative? Just create a rigid top-down hierarchy? That seems equally problematic.
No, not at all. Freeman advocates for deliberate structuring, but a democratic one. She suggests things like delegating specific tasks, ensuring accountability, rotating responsibilities, and distributing authority widely. The key is transparency and shared responsibility.
So it's about having a framework, but a framework that's designed to prevent the concentration of power. It's about making the power dynamics explicit rather than implicit.
Precisely. It's about creating a system where everyone has a voice and a way to participate, not just those who happen to be well connected. Freeman also discusses the star system, where certain individuals become the face of the movement, not through any formal process, but simply because the media needs someone to quote. This can be both empowering and incredibly frustrating for those individuals.
I see. It's a really nuanced argument. It's not about structure versus no structure, but about good structure versus bad structure. And the bad structure is often the one that's hidden.
Exactly. And the essay's enduring relevance is striking. The issues Freeman raises about power dynamics, accountability, and the challenges of collective action are still incredibly relevant to any group, organization, or movement trying to achieve something together. It's a must-read for anyone interested in group dynamics, organizational theory, and social movements.
Definitely adding this to my reading list. Thanks for the insightful summary.
My pleasure. And thank you for listening to Tech Bytes and News. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the tyranny of structurelessness. Join us next time for more insightful discussions on the latest tech and news articles. Goodbye!
Bye-bye.